and maybe that's all it is really, but just that, I feel like that's some sort of boost in your mental health.
100%.
So let's talk about the men's what do you call it?
It's a men's social circle.
Okay, so what inspired you to start doing that?
I think it was I'd started originally back in 2018, 2019, where I was actually having a social circle, but it was mainly women that were coming. And women were coming and talking about things that they dealt with, and sometimes even their own partners or spouses. They were like, okay, I've got this going on. And so the more and more I started tapping into it, and then also, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this to you, but just my 6 to 7 years of actually going to therapy myself. And I started having these conversations with my therapist, and how can I be of benefit to somebody else? And it was already kind of in my mind to where I was going down this path of wanting to help in some way with mental health, and I just started this group. I didn't really know where it was going to go. The first session I had this individual, and we talked for an hour and 15 minutes about, he wanted to talk about investments. I was like, okay, cool, that's what he needs. But then as I started getting more men, I started seeing this trend of a lot of men wanted to talk about relationships. And they wanted to, in a way, they would say they wanted to talk about mental health, but they were saying a whole lot of nothing. But I had to kind of pick through what they were actually saying. So it was like relationships and mental health is what they were wanting.
So one connection I'm saying, or like I could see from that, is so you go to therapy, you pay the bill, you do all that, you get things out of it, right? So the men's social circle, they don't have to pay to get in. No. So they're actually benefiting probably from stuff you're learning in therapy, and then spreading it kind of, which is a cool idea in a way, because not everybody has the access to get. Not that you're a professional or anything necessarily, but you're obviously not yet, right? But you're learning stuff in therapy, and then you can kind of give other people those same things you're taking away from it. So that's kind of a cool idea.
And that's where I always, like, in the spaces that I'm in, especially around men, in a way, because I've found that asking directly, hey, how's your mental health? Some men just don't know how to put that into words. It's just like, as a man or a boy coming up in our society, a lot of times we're not taught to feel what we feel.
Yeah, I don't know that I got that lesson. I pretty much just tell everybody all my problems right away. I'm always like, it seems like I'm always complaining about something, but or just like earlier when I was saying about the small talk. I'm not into the small talk, but we get going on death. Like, I'll talk your ear off for 2 hours or something big, like big life things. I'll get really, really in depth with, and I think that has a lot to do with your mental health. Is like, if you don't talk about the big things, that's still in there somewhere, kind of eating away at you if you're not expressing like what you're thinking about it, kind of. But I definitely know what you mean.
But I mean, even you say expressing what you're feeling. So even though you may feel like you're complaining or getting something off your chest, in a way that's still a positive way for you to get out what is on your chest or what's on your shoulders. Some people aren't in that space or comfortable to even, hey, I'm dealing with this, or hey, I had a bad day or shitty day, like blah, 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 this, that, and the other. So, some of the men, I have one specific guy who has been coming consistently, and it's been, I think, 5 months in that he's been consistent. And I think last month, I was like, hey, man, you got a new haircut, you got a date or something? And he started laughing. He's like, man, I gotta say, like, through this journey of being in this men's circle, like, my confidence has increased. I was talking to a girl, but I started to find that I needed to level up to her, because I was just kind of doing my thing, but she was up here and I was kind of down here, expecting her to come meet me. But he was saying how this space of being around men who all have like this similar idea of growing and this forward-thinking mentality of life has helped him with his confidence and just overall how he communicates.